In this video, we're going to discuss how you can download unlimited gigabytes of information for free that can fit on something as small as this micro SD card, which could be very useful if the grid were to go down during a disaster. Now, in the past, I've done videos covering books that I would recommend having on hand if the grid were to go down for an extended period of time, but these cost money, are not exactly easy to transport if you have to head out during a disaster. So what would you do in a situation if you needed vital information, whether it be medical, mechanical, or some other potential set of data that can no longer be accessed? We've become so accustomed to having unlimited information at our fingertips on things like our mobile devices that we can access in just mere seconds. Now, at the time of recording this video, AT&T and other mobile carriers, they went down a few weeks ago for an extended period of time. But if there were a situation where an event like this lasted for days or even weeks, and you needed to access vital information, what would you do? In this video, we're going to discuss how you can download life-saving documents for free, which could be invaluable in or after a disaster. And definitely stick around until the end, as I'm going to share an easy way to download large amounts of information that you can back up, again, on something like a thumb drive. So let's jump in. If you're new to this channel, my name is Chris, and on this channel we discuss emergency preparedness, aka prepping. Now, knowledge is one of the essential tools in the prepper's inventory, and having the latest and the greatest equipment and gear, it's not going to save you if you lack the proper knowledge to use them. In this video, we're going to feature books available for you to read in their entirety online for free. I've set up a page on my website at cityprepping.com/PDF where I've added all of these download links that we're about to discuss. And we're going to get into discussing the webpage in just a moment. But before we do, let me inform you that when I recorded this video on March the 7th of 2024, I asked my community to help build the ultimate prepping PDF library that you can download for free. And what I did is I recently launched a private membership community specific to the preparedness community. And if you're interested in finding out more about that, to be alerted when we open it again for enrollment, you can go to cityprepping.com/join. And I'll also link to that in the description and comment section below. Now, once we finish building out a much more curated version of what we're about to cover, we're going to update our website, still on this page that we're about to look at, cityprepping.com/PDF, and you're going to be able to download all this information for free. And when we roll out this new Ultimate Library, you'll still be able to access that as well. So let's go ahead and jump into discussing some of the items that I found, and I'll provide you with a lot of additional resources for you to check out, where you can go and get so much more of this information. Again, you can access everything we're about to cover at cityprepping.com/PDF. Again, let me start off by saying that we're going to be overhauling what we're about to present on this page in the coming weeks, and we're going to be adding a lot more content. Now, I decided to alert you about this page because there are plenty of great resources here, and again, we're going to be adding a lot shortly. So let's run through this page and especially focus on what's at the bottom of the page, which I'll get to in just a moment. All right, now that we're here on the page, you can go ahead and scroll down and you're going to see a little information here at the beginning. And I link off to some other resources. But what you'll find right here is our table of contents. Now, if anytime you want to click on and scroll down to different sections, you can do that by just clicking on these links and it will jump you down the page to additional information. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to briefly run through these, only spend a few minutes, and then at the very end, I'm going to show you some additional resources that you're definitely going to be interested in. So let's go ahead and just look really quick at a few of these categories. The first one is emergency preparedness, and we've got some quick guides and checklists that you can download here. We've got everything from childcare, emergency preparedness, guidelines for levees, water purification, and surviving the unexpected emergency. Next up, we have emergency preparedness and survival manuals. And again, we'll be expanding this out quite a lot here in the next few weeks. We've got one right now. I used to have a lot more, but I found a lot of the links were dead. I went through today and cleaned up a lot of these links. A lot of them were dead links from the past that I put up. But what we're doing is we're going to be, again, overhauling and creating one massive document that you can download. It's going to be kind of our ultimate library, so you're not having to worry about, going off to these various links. We've got some more or less what we would consider traditional books. Now, this one, the Firefox, is a very popular one, and I've actually got the physical books of these, but these are some kind of, old school traditional books that essentially present some very unique information that's been kind of lost as of late. You got the second book, the third one, we've got some bushcraft books, and then we get over to hunting and trapping. And a lot of these books these PDFs that you can download. These are on publicly available websites. Some of these are actually sponsored by some different states that, they teach the hunters what to look for, how to hunt, when to hunt, and all these basic things that, again, are important for hunters. Now, next we get into knots. We've got some scouting websites that we linked off to, and we've got knots for the farm, knots for mountaineering, all kind of different knots. So plenty of knots information if you're interested in that, and even if you're not. All right, sorry, I had to do that. All right, our next section is medicine. We've got the HHS pandemic plan, and it's, again, I think this came out probably, I want to say closer to the beginning of COVID. Actually, no, excuse me, this is 2005. So great information where if there is any type of major pandemic, the things to have on hand. Food production, recipes, we've got foraging. I'm not going to go through all these one by one, but I just want to kind of, again, give you an overview of different, recipes that are using old traditional ways that if the grid were to go down and you're like, well, how do I cook? We're out of power, we're out of gas or electricity. And a lot of these things explain how to make food even in, austere conditions, I'll put it that way. The next one is food preservation. You might find some of these resources very interesting, like a solar dehydrator, how to make it, explains all that. Fermenting, preserving food, information on nuclear threats, water information. And by the way, I'll also point out, if you go over to guides, we've got a lot of other PDFs that you can download for free. We've spent over the last few years creating a lot of these documents. So if you want to also additionally download any of those, they're there for you. Got information on shelters. And let me wrap everything up here with this last section, which is probably where you're going to find most information, is our additional resources section. Now, I did a video last year, and at the time of recording this video, it has over 1.2 million views. And again, if you click the link right here, this is going to take you over to that video. And I'm not going to show it here, but you can click on it. And it's a video that I did last year that shows how to use Kiwix to download the entirety of Wikipedia. Highly recommend that video, and I'll post a link to it down below. I've got some other websites here. This is one that I was doing some research on recently, and I found, again, kind of a treasure trove of free survival PDFs, manuals, downloads, all that kind of stuff. So you will find, as you can see, quite a lot of information here. And that's one of the reasons, again, I'm kind of putting a plug in here, or rather plugging for a document that we're going to be creating over the next few weeks at our membership area. Because a lot of these websites, what I found is they have a lot of information. And the problem is trying to sift through everything to find out what's good, what's useful, what's not that great. And so if you come back, and again, I'm recording this on March the 7th, my hope is within a few weeks, we'll have that much more precise, organized, and well put together document, or rather download file that will have all this organized. We also have here the Prepper file share, and this is a subreddit. And you may ask, if you're not familiar with Reddit, Reddit essentially has communities in what's called subreddit. It's kind of like miniature forums within one massive forum, I guess is the best way to put it. And what you'll see here is individuals that have spent a lot of time putting together these type of documents. And so again, it can be a little overwhelming when you go in here, but I pointed this out because it's kind of a rabbit hole that you can go down if you want to really dig in to a lot of other resources. We've got Collapse Survival PDFs, and this is another website. I'm not affiliated with them by any means, but they did a good job of also curating. And again, I want to point them out as another resource. And I came across this one today, and at the time of recording this video, it's still up. You may come to this video in the future and be like, well, I can't find any of these. There's a lot of great stuff I found in here. I don't know if all these are technically in the public domain. So I was going to host it on my own server, but I was like, I don't want to get sued here. So there were some documents in here that I was like, I couldn't tell if these are professional or not. They sure look like it, but anyway, download at your own risk. I'm not, again, I just found these documents very interesting. So all that to say, hopefully this video serves as a springboard to get you over to this page to download a lot of this information. Like I said, I spent the morning kind of curating and cleaning this up, putting it together, and it's going to be a living document that we're going to work on over the next few weeks. I wanted to do this just as a tool and as an opportunity to provide just a useful resource to you, the community. Again, I get asked this question a lot, and I just haven't updated this page in several years, and it was a good time to do it, and I'm glad I did. So all that to say, I would encourage you to go check out this video. I'll post it here on the side of the screen. You can see it. And again, this goes over to the QWix video that we did, and it's a great resource, and I would encourage you to check it out. If you have any thoughts or feedback, feel free to post that below. And as always, stay safe out there.